There's Mera today.
Yeah.
Am I sitting here?
Yes, you said
Yes.
right.
Okay. Well, look at this.
Before we start, I love Gal, but you're a very special Wonder Woman. I mean, what you did with her was just
I think that's a great way to start this interview.
I actually wanted to say, Charlotte Fulton's a friend of mine, so I wanted to say hi, and I actually, we don't indirectly know each other. I run the Dwayne McDuffie social media accounts, so
Okay.
everything you see on the Twitter.
Yes, and so I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
such an affection for you already
Yeah.
because I loved Dwayne so much. Yeah.
Great. So really thank you for every tweeting, every time you mention it, so you really appreciate it. We both really
Yeah, I
appreciate
mean,
it.
you don't have to thank me. I mean, he has an extraordinary legacy. So anything that we as the actors can do to keep that legacy out there, you don't want people to ever be forgotten. That's why I love people knowing the history of the characters and who created what and who wrote what and who voiced it. When I got Wonder Woman originally, I wanted to know who Shannon Farman was from Super Friends. And I knew Linda Carter. I grew up with Linda Carter. So, it's important to know history.
so Mera.
Mera.
Yeah, so-
That's why we're here.
Yeah. So how did you kind of get into her space a little bit?
I lucked out because I know Brandon Vietti, who is behind this project. And Brandon and I did a Comic-Con together years ago. And we were all out to dinner. It was like 15 people out to dinner. And we're walking back after dinner. And he said, I'd love to work with you one of these days. And I'm like, Brandon. And then literally 6 months later, the phone rang. It was my agent saying, you've been offered the role of Mera in this new Aquaman movie. And that's how it happened. It's just a lovely way to get a job, and it doesn't happen very often that happens. I mean, most of the time you're just auditioning like everybody else in the town.
Well, in many iterations of the comics, Mera
Yeah.
is kind of like the one that pushes Arthur to greatness.
Yes.
She's like the power behind the throne.
Yes.
So how much of that will we see in this movie?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, I mean, and I always loved that about her because I was exposed to her in Justice League, and she's very much that. And what I love about the film too is that there's such a love affair going on between the two of them. Like you really feel it, and even they have their own separate stories in this movie, but they're a unit also, and that's what I remember about the two of them, and that's what I got to play. So that was that was exciting.
Wonderful.
And she's adorable. I mean, she's adorable. She's a Lego.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. But she's a Lego. And that was on my bucket list. I mean, I wanted to do a Lego character. I didn't care what Lego character. So the fact that everyone joked that I was a princess and now I'm a queen. And it's like I would have been, the stable girl. I mean, it wouldn't matter to me. I just wanted to be a Lego.
As you were learning about this character,
Yeah.
were you kind of surprised, why haven't we seen more from her already leading up to this point?
Well, as somebody who voiced Wonder Woman, I'm never surprised that we don't see more of the leading ladies because we just don't, and we will now, and that's fantastic. What's so great about this film also is that we're introduced to Jessica Cruz, and she's so terrific in this movie. I mean, her character is flawed and funny and darling, and she's going to be around for a long time, Jessica Cruz, and that's going to be great for all the young people watching this movie and listening to this movie. They're going to be introduced to this new, flawed, fantastic character. So, no, I'm not surprised, but I think it'll change. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Fingers crossed.
What's it like to do something lighter as compared to the seriousness of the Justice League and Wonder Woman?
Total gift. I mean, I loved the levity of it. I never got to be that funny in Justice League, and all the funny lines kind of went to Flash, and rightfully so. I mean, you don't think Wonder Woman crack up, but with Mera, and it's not like she's got all the funny lines in the movie, but there's so much funny in this movie. And have you all seen the film?
Nope.
Okay, so all right, so Act 1, Scene 1. But it's so funny. And Dee Baker, I mean, You'll be on the floor laughing. All right, not literally on the floor, but it's so entertaining, and I mean, everyone does an amazing. Christina, everyone does an amazing job. It's really good.
Did you guys record together?
No.
Or?
Speaking of recording, we have the mic. So I assume Lisa Schaefer is the director again. Lisa Schaefer?
No, the voice director was
Sam Riegel was a woman.
yes.
Colleen.
Nope.
Really?
Okay, let's put this on pause, shall we? God, French-sounding name.
Voice director.
Michelle.
Well, the voice director.
Yeah, let's talk
Not
about the voice
director.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Gary. Oh my God, I can't remember. Her
But
name.
I assume you haven't worked with this person before, right?
I have.
You have? Okay.
I have. Yes, but a long time ago. This is like only my second project with this person, who I cannot remember. I'm going to tell you in a minute
But
when
they
it
were
comes to me.
great.
The voice director, yeah. My biggest concern with this is that I didn't sound like Wonder Woman. You know, I just didn't want that for the fans.
And how did you go about doing that? How did you get into Mera's voice?
You know what?
space?
I tried to do a higher pitch, and I did, because she's got like a complicated story in this. So then I did a much lower pitch, and I don't think I sound like her. The fans may, but I don't think I do. But I have two grunts in the movie, and they're totally Diana. Just saying it now, putting it out to the universe, fans. It was totally Diana. I was because it's so hard for me to do that, like, and not sound like
Right.
Diana. So
You have to bring in like a stunt grunt.
exactly.
Yeah.
Rachel Heil should have done it. She's Wonder Woman.
Absolutely.
What was the most fun part about this character?
I think the lightness, the fact that it was, it just makes you giddy as an actor that you get to be part of this universe. I mean, everyone says it and it's like blah blah, but it's so true. Like, we just want to work, and so getting a job is like huge to begin with, and then getting a job in this universe, the DC universe, which I've been connected to since 2000. It's the gift that keeps on giving, and you kind of pinch yourself that you get to do this again and again, whatever iteration, whatever character. Again, I would have been the stable girl, and but you're not. You get to be Queen Mera.
Right.
It's an honor. It really is.
Is it a little less pressure to do a Mara instead of a Wonder Woman, for example?
No.
Is it easier?
No. It's work, and it's, I don't think it's easier, because Mera has her fan base, rightfully so, and she's extraordinary. So you want to deliver for the I'm always thinking of the fans. Like, I want to deliver something that the fans appreciate and like and can relate to. And so, every job is kind of scary.
Speaking of the fans, now that you've gotten to do something a little bit different, going from Wonder Woman to Mera,
Yeah.
is there at some point a villain that you'd like to tackle in the DC movie, perhaps at some point?
Not in the DC universe. In the DC universe, I love being a heroine. It's like with Injustice, the game. Diana's a badass, and people have asked me about that. Like, how was it? I prefer, if I have my way, and no one's giving me my, no one's asking, how do you want to play her?
Right.
But I love playing her as a heroine. I love the fact that she's good, and that she does the right thing, and that she's kind and compassionate and empathic. So I'd rather play that character. Now, most people will say they love to play the villain because it's gritty and it's naughty. And that's all true.
Right.
But in the DC universe, I'll take the heroes. I like the heroes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are there other heroines you'd like to play?
Who's the director, the voice director on this movie?
Colette Sunderland?
Thank you, Colette.
There we go. Clip, edit, good.
I got room for one more question for you.
Okay, one more
minute.
question.
Anybody?
Are there other heroines you'd like to play in the DC universe?
You know what? If I could play more Diana for the rest of my career, I would be a happy girl.
Hard to turn that one down.
You know what? That's like when you've been given the best,
Why settle?
But Mera was up there. I mean, Mera would definitely be somebody I would love to play, and I got to play her. So check. And a Lego.
Yes.
So mission accomplished.
Thank
Come with
you.
me.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
you